Everybody, welcome to Ink and Intellect. I'm your host, Tattoo Lou. I'm here with two really good friends of mine and people I've known for a long time and have been a source of therapy, haircuts, and you name it. Let's get into the intros. Mike.
I'm Mike. Everybody knows me as Mike the Barber. I've been a barber for a really long time. Known Louis probably for 80% of that time.
Oh, that really long time.
It was that really long time. And, been through multiple businesses, multiple phases. We're currently on our like fourth iteration, which is cool. Our industry changes a lot, so we've been rolling on the punches. Roger used to be my right-hand man. Now he's my business partner, co-owner, left-handed. He would try. So he's my partner, co-owner of the parlor now, and it's what we pivoted to.
Cool, man. Roger.
So yeah, basically, you guys heard a light intro of myself. My name is Roger. I've known Mike since I was 15. We worked in one of my first barbershops together, and through that journey of me coming back and working at the Parlor Inc., then I met Louis some years ago, and we built a great friendship. There's just kind of vent and tell each other stories, and like Louis said earlier, just a form of therapy to just feel like some men are just not going through things alone. So we built a pretty good bond together, and now we're here helping Louis out with the podcast.
Yeah, unrelated, man, but being a parent for so long, when you started talking for him, I was like telling you, "Oye, haz lo que hable."
Yeah, I'm like, so what am I gonna say now? So it's fine.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, bro, let's get into it, man. Why do men say things in a barbershop that they wouldn't say anywhere else?
I feel like
Without incriminating everybody.
I feel like they're gonna get an honest, no judgment opinion, whether it's a good one, a bad one. The other day, crazy shit. Somebody wished communism upon all of us. What? It was some shit we were talking. I was like, all right.
Yo, and some of the conversations that we got dragged into at the barbershop are wild.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm lucky for the most part. I'm the one starting it. So, but when you walk into a weird one, it's like, like body surfing. You're sitting there waiting to jump in the wave at the right time and not just jump in out of context, because then you look like
you want to get a feel for what's going on.
Exactly.
Believe it or not, some of your topics carry on throughout the day. As people come and go, one lets it go, the other one picks it up, and it's like an Indian run throughout the whole day, and that becomes topic of the day. But going back to your earlier statement, why do they like to say things there that they wouldn't say in another setting? Again, just to bounce back off of what Mike said, I believe it's just they get to see that it's not just dumb with that form of thinking. It's a community sense. And they get checked off, and whether it be good or kind of alter that statement or
be a struggle.
Or it could be a struggle. It could be really anything that when you're the head of a family, whatever you might want to call yourself in that sense, I think if they tell that to their spouse, it ensues a moment of fear in the spouse, oh shit, the boat's rocking mad hard. Yeah. Whereas you tell that to other men, damn, yo, this week, business was a little slow or whatever the case might be, or I'm feeling a little tired and shit. And they're like, yo, totally get that. Doesn't mean that your boat's sinking. It means that it's just an inner feeling.
Correct.
But if you portray that on your family, then the boat's rocking all over the place. The wife's like, everybody's freaking. Do we have to move? No, I'm just
it's true. I had a bad day.
So I did tell that to other dudes. It's like everybody throws their trash in a pile, and then
and we can probably
fucking burn. It's like a communal dumpster fire, not just your own dumpster.
Everybody looks at that dumpster fire, and then they hear everybody else's dumpster fire, and they're like, shit, maybe I should pick one.
Pablo, that is the best description of my show. Is I want it to be a communal dumpster fire, right? We can all bring our garbage, sort through it, and just burn what we don't need, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a good analogy. Dude, some shit that you hear people say sometimes is you got some guys man, I just got laid off, man. And then the next guy sitting next to him is like,
why is this nigga got an hour cut?
I'm down 14 million this month.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's what the fuck?
And then you realize how important haircuts are, because neither one of them need to be at a barbershop. They both need to be in church. Straight up. Oh boy, if I lost 14 million, I will be in the fetal position somewhere. I don't know what I would.
No, I think that's where it starts. In some weird way, it's like a transitional bridge. People get it out in the barbershop, they get used to kind of like talking to a stranger where there's no relation, you know what I'm saying? And then that might segue into like, you know what, maybe I should go on a path of faith or this, that, or third. And it's a good way to them to transition into other formats of like actually getting it out or going somewhere to receive a word
Right.
or whatever.
Or his reindeer in the chair next to him just says, "Hey man, I've been there."
Yeah.
Or some dude talks about, I think me and my wife are gonna get divorced, and 2 other dudes in the barbershop are like, "Oh shit, I've been there, bro."
No, and I could tell you straight up, like I'm outspoken. Anytime I've ever started a conversation in the barbershop, it has never, oddly enough, ended in argument. It's always an agreement. Like somebody's there quietly, and especially as a dude that's not really saying much. But then now he's like, damn, like I got to be the voice for that. And it's like, when I come into the barbershop, it's almost like I sit down and I'm already thinking of like the highlights of my week or the shit that I want to talk about that I know you guys can relate to. And then I don't know if that's coincidence or what it is, but when you have a certain time that you got a haircut, you kind of, that time is around other people that have more or less the same. So business owners are going to have more or less the same haircut schedules. Some people are going to have to come after work. So you're in there with people that are very relatable to whatever it is that you're going to, just naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's been, bro, from business to dating to faith, now bigger than anything. And we all share the same journey somehow, some way, So I feel like the barbershop is definitely a great platform for that.
It really is. A lot of guys that even the guys who don't talk, I feel like the ones that are listening need it more than the ones who are outspoken.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of guys just sit back and like just nod their head, like agreements, or just like stay really focused on whatever topic is being spoken or whatever that may be. And you could tell if it's relatable to them because of how like tuned in they are. Sometimes I've seen them scrolling on their phone, and as the conversation builds up, they put the phone down.
Yeah.
And they're just like tuned in into like just receiving that communal.
No, and I feel like, man, that person to person interaction is missing so much, and we don't even realize it until you get into a setting that you are interacting with another human being.
A barbershop without a TV.
I never even thought about that.
We've always had it.
We've never had a TV in any barbershop. Well, except for the first one, but that was just typical barbershop shit.
Yeah,
They've never had a TV. It's like people just,
there's more than enough entertainment,
bro, straight up.
That's crazy, man. I never thought about
People talk to each other. We play music. Maybe, bro, the other day the subject that came up was music because I mean we talk about everything in the barbershop, right? So did y'all know Bobby Caldwell is white? He's white.
I don't know.
So somebody found out the other day.
I'm half white. I don't know why.
It was in sorry. You already know Aldo. Something has a problem.
It's the one you hold on to, but that was the topic of freaking FIFA.
Homie had an existential crisis. He found out he wasn't black.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe this.
But I mean, yeah, he's a very soulful character. Yeah, Bobby Caldwell is very white, like nerdy white. Yeah. Bro, we touched on a lot of what I was going to talk about on that part of the topic, because it's like, why do men feel like they can talk about these things at the barbershop and not at home? And like you said, it's like, it's not, I'm sure to an extent with certain women, it's judgment. You know what I mean? They're not going to receive the judgment from us that they're going to receive at home.
Correct.
It's just different. The dynamic is different.
And it's like it's a burning.
Yeah, and not to blame women. As men, we do that. We shield them from a lot of things that they don't even realize. Like, as a real man, like, that's part of our responsibility. So, I mean, that definitely clears that up. And, like, I have brought somebody to the barbershop one time, and she sat through me getting a haircut because I just couldn't take her and pick her back up. But her sitting there after, I didn't really notice anything crazy about our conversation. When we got in the car, she's like, forget about all the comedy shows that I've been to. Forget about every funny thing I've ever seen. That has to be the funniest shit I've ever been witness to in my life. And I'm like, I couldn't even remember what we were talking about. And she's like, yo, do you guys put a camera in that barbershop? And bro, and like the things that stand out to me obviously are like certain things. But yeah, and it's, so she took that away from it. You know what I mean? For sure, like you said, the quiet guy's taking that away from it. The person that's in their head about God knows what and they're going through it is a moment to disconnect. So I feel like the barbershop definitely is a lot more than just a haircut.
No, it's a community.
No,
Yeah.
and
We find people inadvertently, like randomly. The other day, so backstory. My car was damaged in our parking lot due to a construction company next door was doing some work. The owner came through, he looked out and he paid for the damages, right? Some dude the other day asked me for somebody that demos.
Right.
What did you think I did?
Yeah.
Homie was cool, so I slid him the number out.
Yeah.
Like, yo, go right ahead.
Yeah, and it's the most organic form of networking as well.
100%.
Because how many times have I not reached out to you? Yo, do you know somebody? The countertop guy, bro, you name it, and we have our network of people that we trust, and
100%.
because you're seeing that person's character outside of their job, you know what I mean? You're talking to that person day in and day out, like,
Exactly.
and for me, I've been getting a haircut every week since the beginning of time. I can't. Do I need to get a haircut every week? Probably not. I'm with this, but then I have to hair of mine, bro. But listen, do I need to get a haircut once a month? Maybe, but it's something about having a haircut that like sets the tone for the rest of the week. You know,
It really does.
for the weekend, and then when I'm single, I'll get a haircut on Fridays because I need to look good for the weekend. When I'm in a relationship, I'll try to get a haircut closer on Monday so that I'm focused on working the weekend looking good. You know what I mean? So there's a science to it. You guys hear a lot in that chair. Talk about dating, man. So let's what men think women want versus what women actually respond to. This is gonna be funny because I don't think that aside from Mike, that me and you are fit to answer this question.
You're definitely not fit for this.
I mean, from the outside looking in, there's probably a better view of things anyways, because when you're in the trenches in war, you got the fog around you. You want to
I got PTSD for sure.
you guys probably got some PTSD.
I'm sure when this episode comes out, there's gonna be a couple people like Roger needs to check a fuck up.
Yeah. Or you're gonna be in a relationship like, why are you talking about being single? Yeah. That's already happened to me.
I think that the existential crisis this world is living in right now is the fact that you can't play a game without oppositions. And I feel like both men and women to a certain extent are playing on the same side of the field.
Yeah.
You know, like no, I'm not hating on all my boss ass bitches out there, you know, like y'all gotta get shit done if you're a single lady, sure, but to not acknowledge that you don't need a man in your life is also naive.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of women do it right now, you know. A lot of dudes do the same shit, the opposite. Oh, I don't need no bitch or whatever. But, you know, like everybody's living based on their emotional availability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like to a certain extent, to play devil's advocate, right? As a man, instead of just being mad at that behavior, and instead of you just leading by being a man, I feel like that's where a lot of men fall short. And letting that person let their guard down is like two rams just bashing their head against each other. Nobody wants to give, but they both want a result. You know what I mean?
And they both can be alpha, you know, like but two things can exist at the same time, right? They both can be alpha, but they can both be alpha
In their own right.
in their own right and their respective spaces.
Right.
And I feel like that's something that's missing. Full disclosure, I'm a very traditional family. Like I'm a single breadwinner. My wife stays home in case anybody wants to come at me. That's so you know the basis of it. Yeah. The truth is that we each have our own roles, man. And I just feel like women don't play their role and men don't play their role sometimes.
And to be completely fair, to say roles does not mean that one is more important than the other.
Roles are gender based. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't do dishes because that's a woman's job," and shit like that. And it's like that's also not true, you know. But
Right.
the roles need to be split some way.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Since I've been single, I have a new appreciation for every time I used to throw clothes on the floor and not even worry about it. For all the extra dishes that I used that I didn't.
100%.
I would like to sincerely apologize to both of my ex-wives for not
Washing dishes.
washing dishes and picking up after myself because, bro, now I'm looking at those socks like, I could waste again.
You're hot.
So yeah, man.
But that goes for a lot of things, and I use dishes as an example. But
Right.
changing your kid's diaper. There's some dudes that won't change their kid's diaper.
I know that I couldn't.
Shit.
You know that I
I
couldn't?
heard that shit.
Bro, I gagged so hard that it's like, you want to change the vomit off of the baby after I change it. Like, it was that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I've always said that that's,
Bro, you're gonna have to choose another role, and maybe you're doing dishes.
if she would have been gagging, we would have had to hose that kid down every time. Like, they would have had to go straight to the shower every time. So yeah, that's crazy.
But it's all about teamwork, and I just feel like everybody wants to take on the same role. And it's like you can't do that. You gotta split that, you know, and however you want to split it.
No, and then the crazy part is to see like not just women, but anybody in general. Nowadays, it's like you hear people, I want to be a business owner. Like, what do you want to do? No, I don't know. I want to own a business. And it's like this notion to think that you're anything more important because you're a business owner is wild. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be a business owner to understand the fact that many of us, let me correct that, many of us are not business owners. We
We
are
have a great job for ourselves.
high-paid employees. Okay? Let me clarify this for anybody that's confused.
So we job.
Ourselves a job. We say it all the time.
Let me clarify this for anybody that's confused. If you have to get up every morning and go to work, you're not a boss.
No.
You do not own anything. You are a glorified employee.
Correct.
Get off your high horse, and you are no better than the people that work with you, and treat them accordingly. Right? I mean,
Because me with all the fucking hobbies, fake Xander cake, fucking shit I do, I bust my ass one good time,
you ain't going to work.
I'm cooked. Whatever savings I got, I'm good until then.
Bro, you don't know
I'm
how
on a heel before that shit runs
I
out.
don't know how many times, man. Something so simple as like, my son's flag football has like a turkey bowl, and I went and played in it, bro. And I split some guy's head open, not because I'm a badass, because we're old and we tripped and fell into each other.
And, you know,
But bro, that's what you said. I work physically. I do AC for a living. If I get hurt, I'm not only screwing myself, I'm screwing everybody.
Correct.
That is not a business
That
owner.
domino falls very far.
Because if you want to be technical about it, even an employee can get hurt and have a sick day. As a business owner,
No,
you don't hang it though. Yeah, and then that's why I laugh, because over the years I've employed so many people, and I know the ones that are going to be able to go off on their own and do their own thing, and I know the ones that are not. Like the ones that I'm telling them, hey, do you want to work Saturday? They're like, you know what I mean? Like,
pussyfoot around, man.
well, it's not or not. So yeah, the whole business owner thing is wild to see.
and there's nothing wrong with being an employee either. Like,
At all.
I have a lot of clients that are great employees and rake in a lot of dough for the people in the companies they work for.
Yeah. And a very important fact, like before you were where you're at now, you were an employee.
You knew me as an employee.
As an employee, yeah, and you were a great employee. Everybody that I worked for, I was the best wherever I worked at, and that's what set me up to do what I do. But I feel like,
yourself a job.
yeah, to buy myself a job, and I feel like so many people miss that, like, and that's one of the main things that I really want to focus on here, outside of this podcast, but just in general with the podcast, is that, yo, it's all right to go through the stages. It's that building stage, believe me, is the most valuable part of your life. Don't think that you're gonna blow past it and anything is gonna come great from it, because it doesn't work like that.
But also, it's like you said, it's part of the journey, and it's cool. And you can go back to the writing, to the drawing board, and start all over.
I gotta learn from one of the things.
You're not your journey is not linear going upwards. Like, you're gonna fall. You're gonna have to rewrite the rules. You're gonna have to do things differently, and that's okay too. You gotta embrace that journey.
I got into that quote unquote business partner role with Mike in like 2021 or something like that. And I had been with him since I came back from North Florida, that I spent some time in North Florida. I came back in 2015. And from 2015 to 2021, I was an employee.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like to pocket watch the owner or the leader, manager, whatever the case might be. They like to pocket watch. Oh, must be nice. I fucking hate that term.
Must be nice, or man, you're lucky.
Or you're lucky. It's like, oh, look at he came in at 10 today, or he's going on a vacation or some shit like that. I was like, bro, what do you care? Like, you're eating off of this too.
You know how many times I had to have that conversation?
Handle your business.
I'll call an employee and tell them, hey, listen,
That's above my job. Oh, I'm not sweeping that because, like, yo no soy el dueño aquí, or this, that, and the third. It's like, dude, just fucking do it, because you're within this castle.
Yeah.
If this shit's clean, the domino falls towards you too. You'll get to
one hand washes the other, man.
Exactly.
I clean it you too.
Yeah, no, but a lot of times, like, people are just like above their position, like, oh nah, like I don't.
So I want to be a business owner.
Exactly, and then go off and do it on. The shit crashes and burns, and then they wonder why.
They don't get dirty.
You know?
Yeah, that's.
And you don't have to be a yes man, but like, dude, just do your part, and a little more goes a long way. Like, you don't just have to do the bare minimum.
Right.
In anything, in relationships that we spoke about, you do the bare minimum, it's not gonna work out. You got to put effort.
We were present.
Be present. Exactly.
Should be a standard, like between presence and like, you're not gonna walk over a piece of garbage and not fucking pick it up. Like,
I won't.
But that's inefficient. If you in your business, like if you worked a retail job and you worked there and you walked over a wrapper, you're just gonna leave it there. That's inefficient.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you're gonna go get the broom and come back and do a full sweep. But if you're not, and you're just walking by, bro.
That's a whole other breed of people. The person that'll walk past a barber and go 10 blocks down to get a vacuum cleaner and then come back 3 hours later.
This is a perfect time for this. So, full disclosure, I got a side quest at Tootsie's as floor host. Now, it might sound like ignorant, it might come off a little like whatever. Do I need this? No. You know, the barbershop does great for me, this, that, and the third, but whatever. Again, I'm single again. So,
How'd that come, brother?
yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll segue back.
Yeah, that's another episode, maybe.
And so whatever, I just got a side gig, you know, I go there twice a week, you know, at night times, this, that, and the third. I'm a floor host, so my job is like hospitality, just talk to people, this, that, and the third. Like, so if I would go into the mentality like, oh, I own a business, this, that, and the third, like I'm good already.
You'd be on your high horse. I'm gonna go work.
Oh, nice. So
You're a barber that doesn't cut hen
correct.
over there.
Yeah, I just do what I do. I just talk and just, you know.
Nah.
Amazing.
But my job is just exactly that, just to talk to people and just see how everything's going. Now, the waitress's job is to bust their own tape. So this is where we're getting into like, let's just do a little more. Who cares? Now, being a quote unquote business owner, it would be above me to be like, I'm not fucking picking up that cup.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just here to be a floor host, look pretty in my little clothes and shit, and fucking like just talk shit to people. I'm not gonna bust tables or fucking do anything else, but I do. I just help out. It is what it is. It's in my nature.
It's in your nature, yeah.
To just
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't stand around.
yeah.
I can't stand. When I show up to the jobs, it's almost to the point that I can't do it because I'll push. You know, my son works with me. He'll end up standing there looking at me like, bro, can I do something? And I can't stand around and do nothing. I like,
There's always something to do.
yeah, there's always something to do. Yeah.
But again, you don't have to be involved with any role.
And it goes back to relationships as well. There's always something to do. It's very easy to sit there and complain about your spouse. It's very easy to sit there and make. I'll use a perfect example. I go to Ale House to hang out by myself, usually during the week.
Yeah.
I'll eat my dinner there, talk shit with the people around there, whatever. And in one of those, a dude came in, and you could tell when somebody wants to make conversation. You know what I mean? I'm like, this or that.
Yeah.
So then
Me too.
I didn't really want to, I mean, full disclosure, I didn't want to have the conversation, you know, but I'm never
But sometimes it's not
put in that
it's-
position.
It's a bigger calling for you to whatever it might be to help that person.
So I sit there and I have this I started the conversation with him, and he's like, oh man, you know how it is, bro. My wife, whatever, blah, blah. I'm like, well, like, what's going on? And he's like, no, man, because, you know, I came home late the other night and she hasn't been talking to me, so I'm not going to go home. And I go, let me ask you a question, bro. Like sincerely, where do you want to be? No, I want to be home with my wife. I said, okay, so go do that. No, because I go, no, hold on, stop. Go do that. Why are you here? Like, what does here do?
You're adding
No, because if I go home, she's gonna this and she's gonna, and it's so much dodging accountability.
kind of has
And I go to her, listen, this is what you should.
We had is a pride thing. You
No, and I go, this is what you should do. You should go home, right? Apologize for that, because if it was her that did it to you, believe me,
you be on a super fucking
oh my God, that she came home late. I don't know, for you already know where that would go.
yeah, no, for sure.
So then I go home and apologize, but sincerely apologize. Don't sit there and try to dictate how she responds. You got to take it.
Explain yourself.
And I think, oh, we ended up exchanging numbers, and he texted me like 2 days later. He goes, bro, listen, you know, the first day, well, that night when I went home, she really didn't want to say nothing to me. And I just stayed quiet.
It doesn't matter. I apologize, and you're still acting like this. It's like, bro, it's not. You gotta tell it. It's being accountable.
No, and women do shit based on feelings. So if they're just feeling bad, they're not gonna come at you until the next day.
but we all deal with things differently. But the one thing that I heard in my life, and it's held true, apologies don't have the word but after them.
No,
If you say the word but, you just wiped your hands with the apology, right? You know what I mean?
I explaining.
So then he's like, yeah, the first day, the first night, the next day, she really talked to me, but she came around, and I go to him, just keep that mentality, bro. Just remember that you're reacting to her reaction usually for your wrongdoing, bro.
exactly.
That's not right. You can't do that. I haven't spoke to him after that, but I mean, I would hope that, and that's what it comes down to. So many people, I feel like, give advice based on what they see in this fake world we live in on our phones. Nobody speaks from experience, and most people don't have genuine opinions and like advice to give, because I just watched some lady and her husband fight over something and blah, 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 and XYZ. And then now I'm the single guy at the bar telling this guy, man, fuck your wife, bro. Oh, let's take a shot.
He's like, that's right, bro. Fuck these bitches.
Yeah.
Now my man's fucking relationship is just gonna
His family, or is it? And it's
correct.
and it's all just perpetuating bullshit. And so then circling back around to it, you have to pour into it. The relationship, the business, or whatever. Like you, and at least for me in business, one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn, accountability.
100%.
Whether you want to hear this or not, and I hope somebody hears this and it makes a difference in their life, you are to blame for every single thing that happens to you.
Yeah.
If somebody owes you money, you knew better than to get into that situation with that person, or you didn't structure your invoice or your contract properly, and that's why you're in the situation that you're to blame. Stop looking for a place to place your blame and look for a solution to the problem. The minute you take accountability and move past is when you can really start to build again. And there was a year that I was owed like $175,000 and I was done, dude. I was ready to throw in the towel because it sucks to do everything right. At least you think you're doing everything right, and somebody else's actions screw you over.
Correct.
But
No one cared.
But I had a conversation with a really good friend of mine, Carlos, and he's also in the AC industry. He goes to me, let me ask you a question, bro. How much was it? And I was like, I don't remember, 100 and something at the time. And he goes, okay, do people not pay Tony Robbins and all these places and go to business seminars to learn from them? He's like, yeah. I go, yeah. He goes, okay, did you not learn? I said, yeah, I learned. Okay, and it costs you money. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive lesson. That's you learning.
We learn a lot of lessons that we spend a lot of money.
Yeah. But where I'm going with that is, in business, it's money. In life, it's way more serious. With your relationship, with your marriages, with your relationship with your kids, your family, those are things that you can't play those games with. You know what I mean? And I feel like
People play with that shit all the time.
yeah, and I feel like that's why the people you keep around you, we're told since we're little, enséñame con quién andas,
Yeah, they tell you who you are.
and I'll tell you who you are, and that is so true. You have to be like the guardian of your mind, and what you let in is what you live.
Knowing everything from the aspect of the people you bring on your business, the people you bring on your home. Ask Roger. Roger knows
All those cliche things of the fruits that, like, hey, with Ryan apple, Ryan is the rest of the basket type deal. That's very true.
very true.
Because a mindset is very, very, very can be passed down easily. Whether you come in with a good mindset, you have every people with shit,
It's a virus.
or vice versa. Like it can really freaking rewire your network for good or better.
Yeah. No, and even in the Bible, there's a parable of the fig tree. And Jesus comes up to the fig tree and goes to take a fig from it, and there's no fruit, and he damns the tree and has, like, right then and there, withers into nothing. And the takeaway from that is, even though the tree may look a certain way, judge it by its fruits. So many times a person and a situation or scenario might look a certain way, but you're not looking at the fruits, So this message is for anybody that's in a marriage, that's fighting with your spouse, anybody that's fighting with a family member, anybody that's quit the shit. Just stop. Make your apologies, like, move forward.
Life is short.
Life is short. Holding a grudge, being bitter, that's a horrible choice to make. Like, you watch this for that reason.
Yeah, it just becomes a cycle. Or just you trying to,
It's a vicious cycle.
and then it becomes a cycle of you getting your lick back.
Yeah.
Versus, like, coming to terms on, like, your wrongdoings on either side or whatever. And
I feel like that has a lot to do with the standard that men are held to by women. And
I was just about to say that, like, this checklist of, like,
literally,
or
literally,
the checklist versus the fucking online gurus
exactly.
that are 90% single. By the way,
I call them checklist people, and it's just so shallow, bro. Because, like, you don't get people for their content. It's just a content.
no, they need this.
Yeah.
Versus, like,
So
just happy your way, right?
just ran into somebody that was beautiful, random as fuck, and they start asking questions, like, literally going down the checklist. Also, what are you doing now? You got a job? You do this? Oh, you got a house? Oh, you got kids? You got a wife? Oh, and it's like, yeah, man, I do, but that doesn't make me who I am.
No. And
What else happened to? Oh, how you doing? What's up with your life nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh, like, how are you feel the kids?
like, yeah,
How are you personally?
It's an inventory checklist.
It's an inventory checklist. I tell my wife, I call them checklists.
I feel like it's almost a comparable checklist to see how they're doing versus like the rest of the people that there's people, but those and they're like malicious ways, just kind of like programmed that way. Right? Like society pros are years. They all and they don't even know it.
And my conversations with those types
Zombies, they're walking around life like this.
With the blinds on.
Yeah. And my conversations with those type of people, actually, life is always the same. It's like you come at me with that, and it's cool, dude. I'm happy for you, whatever you have. I'm genuinely happy for you, but I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? You want to impress me, man? Tell me what you're doing with your life. Tell me what you're doing to better yourself. Tell me, Pablo, I've been in this industry for 25 years, and I think that every year I redefine what I think rich is. I've seen
100%. Oh,
money on scales that doesn't even make sense, you know? And it's crazy.
You're scaling money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking dope.
Yeah. So, and it's like, it's to the point that I've realized that the people with the most money are happy and quiet. The people that seem like they have money and are loud are miserable.
yeah, 100%.
They're miserable. And it's not, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying the grand majority. So all these people that you're out there following and looking up to on social media and all that,
Yeah.
it's social media.
Listen, I know dudes,
Not real life.
some of my house call clients, you know, like they're very well off. Like the ticket behind their house starts with the letter M.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not going out, they're not doing all shit. They want to enjoy their mortgage.
Yeah.
They want to be home happy with their families. They don't even go out on the weekends.
Yeah.
You know, they're just
Oh, you mean they're not in clubs, popping bottles, and like, who even does that anymore, bro? Well, I can think of a couple of people, but
I know some people. You'll be surprised. Yeah.
I see it.
no, what's crazy is me, how are you people doing it, bro? I went to McDonald's the other day for me and the keywords, and I almost wanted to slap the drive-thru back, bro. Like, what did you put on there, bro?
Yeah, we went to Tulsa, $60 as well, bro.
Remember back in the day how much $25 would have fed a family of 10 for 2 months?
Easily. Now it's just me. I mean, I'm a fucking fan. Well, I like talking about that. Down to it. Steak salad chalupas. Stuff.
We used to do stuff and end up at Krispy Kreme and then Dunkin' Donuts. All right, with $20, that whole car had food, bro.
What for sure? And then some. We shit in the back.
And then and not forget, I'm not gonna age myself, but yeah, gas is like 80 something cents a gallon. Shit, remember that? I remember that.
But look, on coming off age, that's part of the checklist too. Like, oh, how old are you? Oh, I'm in my case, I'm 36. Oh, do you have this? Or why aren't you married? Like, oh, you're a red flag. You're a walking red flag.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have your shit together. But that's like
the double standard,
though. What coincides or like what dictates as having your shit together?
But the craziest thing is,
it's a material shit that you should have by now.
No, and if you look at that in comparison, I promise you that 95% of the guys that they tried to date and didn't work out were the opposite of you, because the fact that you don't have kids is rare, right? So instead of that's more like a unicorn, if you ask me, than it is a red flag. Like, but that's the thing. Sometimes people get so stuck in the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Right. I have friends of mine that are girls, right? And I like just platonic friendships, and I see them and the things that they do, and it's like, bro, ladies, all men are not dogs. You guys are just a revolving door, bro. Like it's crazy how time and time again you guys keep trying the same thing over. And I'm nobody to talk, but I'm just pointing out what I have realized.
But I do feel that society as a whole, the aggressiveness has shifted. Now the women are the ones catcalling, and the men are the ones like, just there and their means. And
bro, to that, women don't have game, bro. Like,
it's weird.
Listen, you guys want to talk shit about how corny guys are? The ones that have reached out to me, it's painful, bro. It's painful.
And it's such a double standard, going back to what Roger's saying. Like, they want you to have all this shit, but what do y'all got going on in here?
No, it's the same show what you bring to the table, but I don't know. You just need kind of like someone who's like emotionally there. Like, I don't need you to fucking be a breadwinner.
But not available. So emotionally ready, like
ready, correct.
Exactly. It's crazy how they can have a regular job, whatever that may be. Office.
Would you ever not date a girl because she worked at McDonald's?
Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But I'd be like, yeah, she has a job.
Yeah, like, cool, you're trying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever your ambitious is, like, there's a stepping stone, this, that, and the third. Like I said, just a regular job, whatever that might be for some people. Nothing of some 6-figure salary shit, just a regular person. I'm a manager at fucking Target.
Yeah.
Or I'm an employee at Target. Whatever.
You're just doing something.
You're just doing something and you're trying your best and you're out here. God forbid a fucking man, you get dished off into fucking
Oh no, dude, I've seen that.
certain ad because you're not some fucking regional manager or own your business or have this like lavish income or disposable income and you need a boat, you that fucking jet ski or side buying
I
guy,
tell people that we're barbers.
you know.
The reactions sometimes are priceless.
That's another thing. Okay, so check this out. I know
Like not amongst men only, but amongst women.
you're obviously, you've been with your wife for a long time, and you're kind of like a steady rock. But
I hate to stop you, but you guys are an exception to barbers because if I think of your typical barber in Miami, it is not you guys. Like, and I believe that that's in business what sets you apart is what makes you different from everybody else. Like you guys are definitely, and this is not to talk down on anybody, but from my personal experiences, I'm with you because of who you are and the way you run your business.
Yeah.
As a business owner. Yeah. My bad, bro.
no, it's fine. But that's a great point because it goes to the point that I'm about to say right now.
Yeah.
Leading into like the dating and the med and having this job, and you can't have anything less than this to be a viable option for anyone. You tell people, oh, I'm a barber. At least I do. I don't go around like, oh, I try to like fucking uplift it.
I'm an underwater ceramic engineer. Oh, look up. You watch this thing.
Say butterfly.
Exactly, But you tell them you're a barber and that's it. You're put in this fucking tiny ass little box.
Yeah.
They put a ceiling on you.
Right.
And that's it. You're lucky if that chick is like at least down to earth enough to just be like, fuck it, it's cool. Like, like we're going to keep rolling with this because you're a cool person.
Right.
Most of the time,
But in a way, man,
conversation goes dead.
in a way, I kind of appreciate certain things like that
It's a
because
filter.
it's a filter, bro. Like the way I look, obviously a lot of people assume certain things about me.
Correct.
And I've never been mad at that. I've always said it. I would rather you come and get you out of the way as quickly as possible than you occupy any more of my time than necessary. So then if that's what they think, by all means. No, and trust me, believe me, the minute somebody hears that I'm a contractor, you have no idea how many times the next question soon after is like, oh, you have a boat?
What?
I'm like, I have a boat.
I do have, but what the fuck are they? I don't track them.
Are you hunting, bro?
Question. Are these
Once I hit a boat, like they spraying pheromones and shit, and like I need the bushes already.
like standards that people are looking for, or is it like just an entitlement thing? Like, is it
I feel like to a certain extent, it is an entitlement thing because the
judge of the
so social media has brainwashed both men and women into thinking that they're supposed to get a certain something from when they're looking for in a partner.
correct? So
Right.
transactionally,
it could.
Call it up?
I would say more so on the women's. No, well, I mean,
No.
well, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Like women provide the way that they look to us,
Yeah.
and we are a source of income security, whatever we are. Which I have no problem with that. Like I'm a realist.
that's a primal.
Yeah. We
Beginning of time.
we're attracted by our eyes first, and we are wired differently. You know what I mean? So I would say it's definitely entitled, and I feel like it's definitely transactional. However, is that the way to approach this? No. Like that, I feel like is fundamentally what the problem is. We set up these unrealistic expectations of the way things are supposed to be. And this is where I'm always now going to digress back to God. So many times in my life, I was so convinced that I can control the situation, the outcome, and I was entitled to certain things. And I now realize the minute that I let go and let God, that saying is before it was super corny to me, and it's something that I hold on to so dearly now. I let go and I let God. Now is when things are falling into my lap. And you hear people say it all the time. What God has planned for you is better than anything you could ever imagine. And it's so true. Because now I go about my life with this peace, and everything has been coming to me. I'm not forcing it. Don't get me wrong, I put my part, but I'm not sitting here trying to control the outcomes.
So primarily as people, men and women, we wanna, we're foragers. We want to keep all our chips.
Yeah.
It's natural,
But I feel like the minute that
be able to
you get away from all that brainwashed bullshit that we're fed through the social media, whatever, and you get back to just being who you are and being genuine, which in Miami, I can't speak for the rest of the world. Genuine is rare. It is so rare. The minute you get back to being genuine is when now people are meeting actual people. Because as you can attest to this
connection.
you can attest to this. In dating, you don't know how many times I've heard no because I don't want to just go out with him so many times when I first meet him because I have to make him work for it. Bro, you're being fake. That's not who you. If you want to hang out with me and you're going against your will,
100%.
You don't have to play this card.
I think women get caught up in that whole like, oh, body count, am I too easy, all this type of shit.
you know, to me, I've never even cared about that. I've never asked about
It's
that.
not women. It's the pressure that gets put on by. We're trained to be like, oh no, she's whatever.
I'm throwing right.
Yeah, I'm not whatever. And then they're trained to just be like, oh shit, no, I can't because that's like a big thing. And it's like just yo, you like who you like, you've been with who you've been with.
Right.
You're fucking going through life. It is what it is.
But I guess it's kind of the same as like when they judge us for not providing
For your income. For your income. Yeah. Exactly.
a lot of money or whatever.
Feel less day.
Yeah.
Because I need to earn this much before I can get a bad bitch or something.
Well, shit, it's funny. I heard those one of my homeboys. He does a podcast with these two girls. Now they have their own podcast as well. So shout out to what Josue has to say, and I think it's mostly peaceful Latinos.
Mostly peaceful. Is listen, they're gonna get super false advertisement, bro. That's not even a thing.
Segment.
Mostly. It's in there.
The boy. No, but segment on a podcast with Josue, and they talked about men, and they said, "Show me your toolbox." No,
I know where this is going, right?
because it's like,
You want to call it? Okay.
I'm gonna get judged bad right now.
What color is a guy's toolbox that is not also?
what household are you in?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm kind of split.
You know, you guys forget about you. I'm saying that guy, the guy that does not have the toolboxes and the tools that we have. What color are the tools in his toolbox?
Lime.
I'm not gonna see what it is, but literally,
You guys are talking about this.
also own a lime green line of garden tools.
It's garden tools. You're not even supposed to be there, bro. What are you doing up there? Bro, and I promise you, there's two colors to those tools. It's pink and lime green. And I was even gonna be like optimistic for you, bro. I do AC for a living. You know how many times I'll be there and like they try to be helpful and they're like, oh wait, like I gotta pull the screws out of the panel and they hand me a putting screwdriver and I look and I'm like, oh, is this your daughter's? Like, go put this back in your toolbox, bro.
But to go back to that toolbox thing, yeah, we just digressed as total my toolbox does. So like what they mean by that is like showing what you can provide that's not like the normal shit. Like can you fucking bro, you know how many dudes I've heard that don't know how to change the tire on a car?
Homie, I've had to help my friends change their tires. And believe me, I put them through the ringer.
And for sure.
But you know, I can respect the guy that doesn't feel bad about getting chewed out about it and just like, dog, I don't do this.
That's cool.
You better than the guy that goes and breaks shit and then I gotta come help and fix it. Yeah. Like, how about this? In society, we all play roles outside of just men and women. There's levels to the type of men that there are.
100%. But, you know, and it's cool. There might be that girl that is okay with the Home Depot 99-piece starter kit toolbox.
Guy.
You know?
Yeah.
Guy. Exactly.
And there still has a plastic in it. Yeah. No, hold on. I feel like you went too far. The IKEA tool set.
The IKEA tool set.
See even
The 5-piece.
Gentlemen, if your tool set has a hammer in it,
It's not a real tool.
it's not a real tool set, bro.
It's not red, and it ain't in the shed.
Yeah.
Kidding. Okay. Some people
I don't even have shit anymore.
are team yes.
How much shit's in the house? Yeah, man, that's funny, bro.
But it's true. Show me your toolbox. What can you provide that's not? Everybody got money nowadays, and especially living in Miami, you better have money. You know what else you got? What else you got?
Bro, this one is a good one, man. One thing that both sexes do that makes dating worse.
The shit that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Hiding your fucking body count. The other one,
playing in there, house game. Yeah, like I'm not gonna respond because he just texted me now. I'm gonna wait fucking 3 business days to fucking reply.
Bro, listen, or going out, I pay for everything. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Even when I'm broke, I pay for everything. It's just that's who I am.
How I was raised as well.
Yeah, it's how I was raised.
Like, don't get taken advantage of, but be a fucking man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But then to hear anybody's input about where you're, I'm gonna tell you right now, when that whole thing was going around that they were like, oh, because you took me on the first date to a bar. Listen,
What the fuck?
listen, unfriend me. We're going to a bar. We're gonna go to our house. We're gonna go somewhere that we can sit down and just talk shit before anything else. I'm not gonna spend all that money on you. I don't need to. Simple as that. I will if you become my chick. I have no problem with that. I'll never sit there and nickel and dime. I'll never put anybody in a 50-50 situation in a relationship. But at first, dog, I'm not taking you to Sexy Fish. I don't even like that place.
Yo, we've heard of dudes take people out on their first dates.
But then those same dudes are the ones that are mad and they say all the women are with them because of the money. Really? From the beginning, what are they?
Yeah, but what are you showing though? But that's what that's all you're pushing. Is this like grand shit from the get?
No, and then you'll find that once you get your ass inside that expensive restaurant, you sit down to talk to this guy. My dog is a piece of toast, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's fucking vanilla.
Yeah.
You're just fucking out here doing the whole happens a lot.
It happens a lot. We'll see you rest of the time.
My man's hot dog water.
Yeah.
Full.
And then to be fair, like I said, I go to Ale House and I hang out, and a lot of times I like listen to first daters. They're talking, and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys see this on Instagram. I don't know where it comes from. Stop. Just be yourself, bro. Just have a genuine conversation. You guys are painful. To think some of those dudes that I watch, I feel so bad for that girl. Like I'm just waiting for her to text her friend, yo, call me and tell me my house is on fire. Yo, my cat is drowning. You know, like.
But we over there having a full-on performance in there.
No, I feel like some people just like, again, they just try to show too much. I don't know exactly. It's like this whole peacock dance that you really don't have to do.
Showing the full.
You just try to just be genuine versus like, oh, fucking tomorrow we can go to Ibiza. When we come back, we're going to go to a fucking yacht. And then we're going to go to the Bahamas. And then we're going to see fish for lunch. And for dinner, we're going to go to fucking...
True story. I met somebody and
showing your whole... Is eat ramen noodles for the next 2 weeks because all he got was fucking... Yeah, just a bad conversation.
They got fired because he took all that time off. He wasn't even approved for it at Home Depot.
Kind of...
So then I went out with a chick.
I stay in my lane, man. And if you like my lane, great. If not, regardless. I mean... I take people where I'm going to go regardless. Like, I'm inviting you to somewhere I'm already going to. I know that sounds crazy, right? It's probably why I'm single, but I'm going there regardless. Just come with me. We're going to have a good time. Seriously, I'm just meeting you, bro. And like we're going to do some normal ass shit. If you can't be normal and everything has to be some fucking 5-star shit all the time, then...
But there's some insight.
Nah,
there's some insight.
Debatable.
There's some insight for women.
Who next to the Starbucks?
Listen, but there's some insight for women in that, right? If I genuinely just want to go somewhere and talk shit and get to know you, you should be all over that. Because I'm not, listen, the majority of guys that are going to spending all this money, they're smashing on the first date in their mind. Like that's why they're doing all that. I'm inviting you to come hang out where I hang out at, talk shit, just get to know me, whatever. But look, funny story with that. I met a chick.
Go to my spot.
I met a chick, and when I met her, she was talking to me, and she was telling me how she dated somebody that was a celebrity and that he used to fly her here. Fly. And I'm listening to the story like, it's cool. Like, it's a cool story.
Yeah.
And eventually I got to the point that I listened to the story respectfully. And then I was like, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not flying you nowhere. And as a matter of fact, we can go in my car, but you're driving to my house. I'm not picking you up. You know? And she looked at me with this face like, damn. But she was mature enough to be like, all right, this dude is being honest with me. She's like, I just put it in God's hands. And I had to laugh at that. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool. You know, like I can fuck with that. You know, but
shoot your shot.
That's right. But it was funny. And then that's another very valid point. I'm honest, man. I'm so honest. And then some people don't like that. But then what women don't realize is that honesty is invaluable because, okay, I just told you everything about me. You get to choose if it's for you or not.
Correct.
I'm not trying to make you fall in love with me. And 6 months from now, you find out that I'm a meth addict that hoards cats. You know what I mean?
That's the guy that's legal peacocking. And
that's the guy that's loud at the bar peacocking. You know,
so the masculinity doesn't have to be loud
because they feel like their true self isn't enough.
Yep.
To attract something. They gotta feel like called bullshit with a bunch of fucking glitter. Bullshit.
Yeah. And neon green toolkits.
And I mean, you learn over time, right? Because like I'm sure if you talk to like some girls I've dated in the past, you know, they're like, oh, whatever. They might have their own opinions. And as you know, ladies, I have learned from my mistakes. just accountability over here. A lot of people lack that. You know, just to be like, man, I did fuck up then, and I should have probably stayed home a little more instead of fucking like I'm gonna go do my hobbies because for my mental health and I gotta come first. But it's bullshit. Like that's bullshit. You're cloaking that. It's a cloak.
Working with men for so long, we're so good at excusing our self-sabotage. Like we're really good at that.
Yeah.
We're really good at excusing ourselves from our own sabotage.
And I feel like that's why you gotta have the right people around you because you hold each other accountable. Because like if you come to me and you tell me some shit that's out of left field, and I tell you, Bobo, listen,
But Mike's told me in the past, he's like, hey, bro, you fucking, Roger, you fucking go do your hobby on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon, you fucking, you want to go to dinner? No, shut up to go fuck yourself.
your chick and the dogs are both, we're like, yo, we got the same time frame.
What the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to have that sense of accountability and people around you to point the finger
A
out.
long time.
Are they kicking us out?
I don't know, but I think somebody knocked, and I don't want to keep pretending that I didn't hear it. So listen, I really appreciate the fuck out of you guys coming. You know that we're always talk shit. There's gonna be another episode. So before I get evicted from the podcast studio, and I wanna get out of here properly. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for all the years of friendship and what you guys have provided outside of haircuts. And he likes to take credit for your haircuts, which is cool. We've got used to that already.
That was
And bro,
it was a communal credit.
I love you guys, man. And thank you for coming, bro.
Nah, we appreciate it. This was honestly like really good. This was cool.
Nah, we're gonna end part 2.
Part 2 is coming up. Didn't get into like out.